Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Philly Shakedown. And we have 5 days. 5 days away from the NFL draft, and very excited to what is going to be unraveling by that time. And my boy Philly 500 here. What's going on, man? How is everything going with you so far? I've heard enough. Before I say anything, I've heard enough of you this week. I did this the most we talked all week this week, so I got to say that before anything.
Yeah, and you just got a text, just letting you know. So just check for that. I am doing wonderful. I am doing great. You know, it is the Matt Corral stock watch right now, baby. Matt Corral, Joey's main man. I had the title Joey's main man, Matt Corral, as my name. But what is good, man? What is happening? There you go, Joey's man, Matt Corral.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to, you can
take that away now.
We've been talking this week about the draft, and obviously, it's not a lot of news on the Tyrann Mathieu front and some things that are going on right now. So as of going into the draft in a few days, do you think there's anything spicing up before the draft? Do you think they're going after anything even on the radar right now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't expect any free agents to be signed or anything until after the draft. I think the Honey Badgers wait until after the draft, which makes a lot of sense. So I don't really expect much. Now, maybe there's a trade or something that gets worked out beforehand, but I think we're in full draft mode right now. I think we're in full draft mode. And I think but I do think there's a chance that you see guys like Deebo Samuel or even possibly a DK Metcalf. I doubt AJ Brown, but maybe him. Kadarius Toney. I mean, you're going to see some movement and probably some guys that we're not even aware of that are on the block.
Yeah. Even with heard rumors about the Giants Kadarius Toney. We heard about that the other day. Why do you think they want to trade him so bad after 1 year?
Obviously, he must be. He must really turn them off with his attitude. I mean, I don't know. But I did a video today. I'm saying there's no way on earth that I would ever trade for Kadarius Toney. Because you see on Twitter, people are asking, I'm sure they're asking you, I'm getting DMs, trade for Kadarius Toney, what do you think? And then propose, what about Rager for Toney? I'm like, I wouldn't touch Kadarius Toney. Because Kadarius Toney in 1 year was there. The team is so done with him, they're ready to trade him. A first-round pick after 1 year. I can't. I mean, it's been weird, right? His whole stint with the Giants has been weird. Like he doesn't show up for OTAs, and
he was injured too.
Then he's back. He's injured again, and now he's not showing up for voluntary workouts. And whatever it is, the Giants don't want him around. So why would we want him?
Yeah, we're already dealing with one already that's always healthy, but that can't produce.
I mean, I think he's talented. He showed he had a good game against Cowboys, but I need a lot more from him to say, yeah, dude, I would stay away from him with all sorts of garlic and whatever you have to do to keep him away. All 15.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I definitely don't want to. It's already 5 days for the draft, and there's a lot going on, so I wouldn't make a move like that. Plus, what they're going to want for him on top of that, I don't know what they're looking for at this point. So,
right, well, he's probably worth nothing. I mean, because if you're a team, you're a general manager, the first question you're going to ask the Giants is, he's a first-round pick. Why would you want to trade a first-round pick? Yeah. And the Giants would say, well, he just doesn't fit here. I mean, everybody knows,
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out the chat quick. I appreciate everybody coming in to the stream tonight, the Philly Shakedown. We have Alexander, what's going on? Stigmata, what's going on? We got Philly Sports. We got Trent, Selby, Clark Roberts, Cryptologist, what's going on? Roro, George Burwell, Dan Pereda, Juan, Grinds. We have Easy Money in the building.
I know he's here. I know
Money's in the building.
He's ready for the Matt Corral jersey. Oh, your Matt Corral jersey is on the way, buddy.
Dude, stop. It's all rumor. Thursday. It's a rumor. It's all rumor.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. All right. So since you've been bothering me all week, okay, we literally had like a live stream war back at a text message live stream war the other day. I mean, Philly 500 has been literally texting me pictures of Matt Corral every single minute of the day. Now, what is so intriguing about Matt Corral so much that you're starting to figure maybe the Eagles could actually draft him?
I don't know if they can or they will or they won't or what they're going to do. But the more I watch him, the more I like him. I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm just saying the more I watch him, the more I like him. I've actually started going to Easy Money Colt meetings 3 times a week. He's the leader of the Matt Corral Colt. I think this. Here's my theory on this whole thing, right? I think Matt Corral has some upside, okay? He's got a big arm. He's got a very fast release. Yeah. He's taller than I thought. Like, he doesn't look 6'2", but he's actually 6'2". And that surprises me. You don't know if he could develop. He just has some tools. But can he read? Can he learn to read a defense? Can he go through his progressions? Can he get deeper? I think he needs better deep ball accuracy. I mean, there are things about him that I just don't know. We don't know. I don't know what this guy is. I don't know what he's made of. But here's my thing. The Eagles brought him in for a visit. Okay, this is what I keep coming back to. Why would they bring him back in for a visit? Why waste your time? The reports that came out last week said they thought he was far above every other quarterback in this draft. So my thought is, if this guy somehow is in the second round when they pick, I think there is a possibility. And the other part is, I just like to annoy you.
Yeah,
that's like
the most important one. The most important one.
That's the most important part. I just like to bust your balls.
Here's something that I've been kind of thinking about since the Matt Corral news has been coming up ever since the pre-draft visit. So what I've been thinking is, what if those picks in that Eagles Saints trade, those 2 first-round picks, wasn't for a quarterback? What if it was those were building block picks for a quarterback this year? Like, what if they drafted, not say Matt Corral, but what if they drafted a quarterback this year, let him sit behind Hurts, trade Minshew, and then use those 2 first-round picks to build around that new quarterback if Hurts somewhat isn't the guy, because this offseason has been so underwhelming, not really building around Jalen Hurts, not adding any more pieces to at least add more competition to help him out.
Or what about this? What if they look at both those picks this year and next year as, hey, we've got to get a quarterback in one of these 2 drafts, and we don't know how this is going to shake up, but if we don't get somebody here, we need some insurance for next year. What if they're thinking that? Or what if they're thinking, we'll take 2 quarterbacks in 2 different years? Right. I don't know. I have no idea what they're thinking. But I know this. When I look at the list, and I'm being serious, when I look at the list of the people they brought in, and I go, which one's a smokescreen? Which one isn't? I don't think there's many smokescreens on there. All those people they've brought in legitimately make sense for what they're trying to do.
True.
Why is Matt Corral on that list? That is the one thing I cannot get over.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think if they added more pieces to the offense and you felt like that the Eagles had more faith in Jalen Hurts and they were ready to, really go ahead with this offense this year, you would say, hey, maybe they wouldn't go after a quarterback. But because
if I send you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're fine.
If I send you a quote, can you post it on here?
Yes. I have to I'm at to email it to myself like in like a half a second. I could do it like real quick.
Oh, because I want to show you something, and I'm going to send it to you. That Howie Roseman said that I think is so telling that we've got to talk about this. Okay, it's
Okay,
really tells me a lot about their priorities, I think, and I'm curious everybody's opinion of this.
All right, let me send it quick.
Because I don't know. I mean, the Matt Corral thing, I have fun with it. I like teasing you, and it's fun, and easy money brainwashes me, but it's fun. It's fun. Do I think they'll get him? No. Maybe not.
What's going on here?
But I think that when you look at the list of the people they brought in, I think most of them make a lot of sense. All of them except for one, Matt Corral.
Yeah.
Why is he coming in now? Are they maybe they don't like Matt Corral and they're trying to fool somebody or another quarterback? I guess that's possible. Anything's possible. Hey, look, Tavarus Jones is back. He's got the crazy thumbnails.
Tavarus Jones.
Remember? Yeah, look at it.
Oh my god! All right, so here it is. I have it right here.
All right,
you can read it off if you want.
I'll read it off. All right, so here's what Howie said. Right, we have had a lot of discussions, a lot of good discussions about the players in this draft, and we just have to make sure we take the best players and not look at this draft as just a short-term fix. Now, the last part is what I want to focus on. Not look at this draft as a short-term fix. Now, what that says to me is we are not looking at this draft in a way that is to really help the 2022 draft. It's more about the future, right? So my question then becomes, when do you help the players in this team going into this year? What are you going to do to help this year's draft?
Yeah, no,
or not this year's draft, but this year's team.
No, agreed. Like, what are you from those from? I don't. If it's not short term and you're looking for the long term answer, you're kind of thinking there could be are they looking at the quarterback position a little bit more that they've been kind of smoke screening a little bit? Is this an actual smoke screen? Are they trying to not let other teams know that they have been interested in quarterbacks with Jalen Hurts already being here? So, saying that Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback at the end of the year, I guess, they kind of just said it to say it, this way teams, find out.
They have to say it. They have to say it. Whether they mean it or not, they have to say that. They cannot say that he's not the guy. But where's the help? I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it. I think they need way more help on offense. I really do. And I don't understand where if it's not coming in free agency, and it doesn't sound like, according to that quote, it's coming in the draft, when it's coming.
You think it's going to be more of an offensive draft?
I think that the Eagles every draft pick the Eagles make is about 2-3 years down the road. That's why a guy like David Ojabo, I think, is a perfect candidate in second round, because they're going to stash him. I just want to know, well, if you're not going to help your offense in free agency and you're not going to help it in the draft for immediately, then when's it coming?
Yeah, I think, and like I wanted before free agency started, I wanted to bring that veteran type guy in here to at least, lead the guys, or, Zach Pascal and Devon Allen. I mean, it's just,
Devon Allen hasn't played since 2016.
Just think about it. The Eagles haven't, with these contracts they give out in free agency, but besides Hassan Reddick, they haven't given out a contract over $2 million a year. Like, that's how cheap they have been. Like, they had a number for a certain position. And look, I don't put too much, like, for some reason, I don't put too much on Howie in the beginning, because they tried trading for Calvin Ridley. He knew what the wide receiver market was going to be. We tried to give Christian Kirk 13. He got paid 17, which was, kind of stinted the market a little bit. And we were connected to every receiver. We're like, they have interest in this one and this one and this one, but we've let every single receiver through our fingers. But then at the other side of it, they probably said, well, this draft class is loaded with receivers. You could have Garrett Wilson. The Eagles could trade for Garrett Wilson, or they could trade for Jameson Williams in the top 10 if that's what they want to do. They could draft Olave. They can go after Treylon Burks. I mean, there's a lot there to help out this offense. But is adding a rookie going to fix our problems to a lot of second year going to their second year in this offense?
Yeah, I don't know. It does. I mean, that's not their priority. They're saying their priority is not this coming year. It is not. So that tells me that anything is in play. Anything's in play. Now, maybe they do something like that we don't expect. Like they trade for Deebo Samuel or something that makes us go, okay, we get it. I mean, there's time. But as of right now, based upon what Howie's saying, they're building. Their focus is on 2023 and above and beyond. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I mean, I what was that? When did he say that quote?
That quote came out today on Philadelphia Eagles on their website. I don't know when he said that exactly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't even see that at all today. I'm surprised I even see it, but that's interesting though. Yeah, I mean, look, it's they want to get long-term pieces. That's totally fine. If it's not quarterback and you want to – because, look, the pre-draft visits make a lot of sense. I mean, they brought in Devontae Wyatt. They brought in Jordan Davis. They brought in Andrew Booth Jr., Sauce Gardner. I mean, they really brought in, players that weren't really head-scratchers. They brought in, Christian Harris. Like, that was when I was like, holy crap. Like, they must really like the guy.
I love that. I love that.
4.44, 40. I mean, 11-foot broad jump. I mean, athletically sound. And plus, Christian Harris used to play wide receiver, and I think safety he used to play as well. So he's got a lot of athletic ability. And Kaiser White and TJ Edwards are gone after this year. I mean,
right.
You're going to be down to what? Davion Taylor that can't stay healthy. So could they add another linebacker? Maybe it's on their mind.
I think possibly. I mean, I've been saying that, I've kind of not even thought about the first round linebackers because I know they don't draft them. I've been talking about Christian Harris in the second round. So that would be great. I really think, I mean, I don't know what to do. Part of me feels like they're going to package those 2 first round picks and move up. Because do you really think they're going to pay 2 first round picks? I don't know.
In the situation we're in right now, it's bad because like Jalen Hurts has 1 more year, but it's extension time at the end of this year. So if you draft a wide receiver this year, like you're going to be paying Devontae Smith and 1 year, and then you have to be paying another receiver the year after. So it's like the contracts are so like. That's the issue right now. We haven't drafted well for a while, so it's getting to the point where you have guys in the building. We haven't produced. Some players may have worked out here, but we haven't produced as a coaching staff. So these big, the receiver market's ridiculous right now. So what do these guys are going to want at the end of their contracts?
Listen, I fundamentally agree with Howie on what he's saying there. I fundamentally do. My question is though, but at what point do you make any moves towards 2022? Like I don't know. I have a hard time understanding how you can just not give Jalen Hurts more help. It's a hard thing for me to understand unless they're not serious about him. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Unless they didn't want to bring in a receiver that was going to be a short-term thing for a lot of money, and it wasn't going to make any sense for them for this year. I mean, that's all I could really think about. Like if you're going to sign a receiver, like a younger receiver, or trade for one, and it was a big deal, then great. But because a lot of these deals for these receivers were short term, maybe it didn't make any sense. Maybe they were just throwing money down the pit, to spend on some of these guys. I don't know. I think they could have done something. I mean, DJ Chark went to the Lions on a 1 year, $10 million deal. If $13 million was like the limit, there was definitely some players out there they could have got. There were some that didn't make sense. Obviously, there were some that were like, oh, this guy got paid that much money. Christian Kirk. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, kind of going to the KC to be that number 1 guy, which is not going to happen. So there was, Allen Robinson got paid a good amount, but they go after Marcus Williams, almost got paid the 5-year, $70 million contract that they were close, that we've been hearing constantly.
Right. So they could have gotten a guy if they really, really wanted to. They would have gotten somebody.
True. We have a super chat from Gandalf the White. Appreciate super chat, man. He says, "Hey Joey, at 500 buys you a Corral jersey. Buy him a Derek Barnett jersey since that's his favorite pass rusher."
No,
I'm telling you right now, I don't believe any of this that's going on. But I gotta say this: like, if this even happens, I'm definitely I might actually say Howie Roseman. It might say Howievision and then number 1 on the jersey.
Howievision. Oh my God. That's what we're living in. It's Howievision, baby.
But I'm telling you, that quote is actually really good. Like it was kind of probably the most straightforward quote I've ever seen from Howie Roseman when it comes to, like, you know, it's not telling you what he's going to do, but if he's thinking more long term with this draft, it means that they could tank this year. They could keep, just think about it. They didn't change the coaching staff. They didn't change anything offensively or this coaching staff. The defense was top priority in free agency, mostly besides Zach Pascal and Devin Allen. So,
I mean, I think what they're saying is, hey, Jalen, we're going to give you one more year. We don't really think you're the guy. You're going to have to prove it to us, and we're not going to give you a whole lot to help. What you have is good enough. If you can't succeed with that, then we're not building around you right now. That's what I think they're saying. I mean, look, Devontae Smith should be better. Goddard should be better. Jalen Hurts should be better. This is all true. However, you still have some big holes. Like who else are you throwing to? Quez, I like. Are they going to use him right? Are they going to keep shoving Regular down his throat? And I think you need to improve the run game still. So I look for them to get a running back. But I would like to see the Eagles. I don't mind that they say, like, the draft is not about next year. Fine. But free agency should have been. That's my point.
Yeah, and you're not paying like I said, like you got to add another running back in this draft. I mean, there's plenty of them between rounds 4 to 6. You can add a stud to this rotational backfield if you really want. Okay, if you want that future piece, for the look, I don't see Miles Sanders getting a big I just don't see the Eagles paying him a big contract, even if he plays well. I don't know. I just don't see them paying him $40 to $50 million. I just really can't see it in the direction we're going with the offensive line right now, the way it is. And for the future, besides, trying to find the replacement center if Kelsey retires, I feel like they could, I want to see more of Gainwell this year. I want to see, Jason Huntley's never really had a chance. Mm-hmm. They could give him a chance, and I think he's good. It's a stacked backfield right now. Jordan Howard's not here. They don't really have that bruiser back right now, so they could go after that in this draft. But, it's going to be interesting which way they go. There's a lot of positions.
It makes the whole draft is going to be fascinating, and the hope is that you can get guys that can come in and contribute this year as well as the future. I mean, I don't know what receiver they're going to draft, but I'm beginning to think you got to. I mean, I'm hearing that there's 7 to 8 wide receivers going in the first round now, so. You're going to have to take a receiver, I think, with one of those 2 picks. I think you have to,
And we weren't even thinking about getting a receiver in the first round because sometimes you would think that it's a reach to go into the first round to get a receiver because you already have your number 1 right now because there's a lot of good receivers in the second round. It depends what the Eagles want. You want a big body that's like Alec Pierce, that's a big body like him, like that has a lot of speed, or do you want a George Pickens for 6'3" that could really move really well? I mean, to be a nice compliment. You have Wan'Dale Robinson in the third round, that receiver from Kentucky that's a twitch guy, more of an inside guy if you want to keep Quez on the outside, opposite Devontae Smith. So there's a lot of good talent in the second round that just because of competition doesn't mean they're bad. It's just because of just what's in front of them, position.
But the question is do you want to be picking the 10th, 11th wide receiver off the board first, or do you want to be picking the 5th best linebacker or defensive end or something like that? I mean, because they're saying 7 to 8 wide receivers off the board in the first round. They're saying Pickens has moved in the first round. They're saying even Watson might be a late first round pick. So I think at 18, you got to take a wide receiver. And I don't know who's going to be available. If I had my choice, I would say probably Garrett Wilson or Jameson Williams. Those would be my 2 choices, but I think they'll be gone.
That's what I think. I think more realistic at 18, you might have Olave and Traylon Burks. Maybe. I think Burks will most likely be there, but maybe Olave could, maybe could be in that spot as of right now. So
I would probably take Olave as my third. He would probably be my third choice.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind. See, I don't mind a bigger receiver either. Like I like George Pickens. I kind of like George Pickens a little bit, man.
Yeah, I do like him too. Now, guys, I appreciate everybody coming into the Philly Shakedown tonight with Philly 500. We're getting ready. 5 more days till the draft, guys. It's been kind of crazy. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a mystery. It's gonna be something that we're gonna be ready to rock and roll and come Thursday. So,
it's 200 crazy.
Oh, it's going to be nuts. 225 in the chat. Much love to everybody that's in here. You guys haven't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Subscribe to Philly 500. His link is right at the top of the description when you go down there. Definitely, we've been pumping out a lot of videos, and we're ready for the draft, and we're going to be streaming 3 days straight, so get ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Every minute of every draft is going to be crazy. Dude, it's gonna be insane, and it's gonna be exciting. And I think there's gonna be a lot of trades. I think there's gonna be a lot of trade rumors. I think there's gonna be a lot going on in those first rounds. Now, when Howie said that statement, I fundamentally agree with it. But I also expect them to be very aggressive. Like, I do not think the Eagles are going to come out of this first round not being one of the most, if not the most aggressive team on draft night. I expect them to be with all their picks and all their firepower.
Oh, 100%. Like I mean, at this point, like if you want to, I'm expecting them to trade up for somebody in this draft, whether it's going from 15 or maybe trading up 18 if they want to stay at 5th, depending on how the board falls, But they have 2 extra thirds. They got 3 fifths. They got a 6. They got 2 7s. I mean, they're loaded. I mean, there's a lot of flexibility. Plus, you got picks for next year. I mean, you got picks. You have a lot going on for you right now. Howie Roseman has full control of whatever he wants to do in this draft.
And it's going to be very bright red when we're streaming. Joey's going to be in his Matt Corral jersey.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Joey's gonna be his Matt Corral jersey. I love it.
Brian says, imagine if they trade Hurts for a second and more in the draft and they get Corral. Could you imagine that? I don't think they will, but what if they could trade up for Panthers 6 and Chin?
And 6 and Chin, man, you get and Chin. I can't see that happening. I don't think they're gonna draft Corral. I don't think it's gonna happen. We have fun with it, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not going to trade Hurts, though.
No, I'm saying this. Do you think if say they draft Matt Corral, just say they draft a quarterback, period. Now, do you think Eagles are going to take advantage of the situation and say, hey, if they want to start Matt Corral next year, they are definitely going to get more draft capital, and Jalen Hurts will definitely be on the trade block?
I think if they drafted Matt Corral, the only way they had him in for a visit. They're like, I think this is what they do. And this is what Howie kind of alluded to before. They get guys, they bring them in, they slot them in different spots. So they bring in Thibodeaux, they brought in Sauce Gardner. Why are they bringing those guys in when they'll never make it to 15? Because they look at those guys as if they get to a certain point in this draft, like maybe Sauce Gardner, if he gets to 6, maybe if Thibodeaux gets to 10, then they make a move up. I think probably going into the 2nd and 3rd round, they probably say the same thing for Corral. If Corral's in the 3rd round, we'll take him. If he's late, I think they slot these guys. So I don't think any way in hell they'll ever draft him. I don't think they'll draft him in the first 2 rounds. But maybe if he got to the 3rd, they would. But if they did, they would just sit him. I don't think they would. I don't think they would play him. I think he would have to develop for a couple of years behind Hurts.
Yeah. I think the Eagles have made it obvious in this. I mean, especially this offseason, like the number 2 cornerback spot's been an empty spot for a while. Like Steven Nelson signed with the Texans, so we're kind of like, wow, they didn't try to bring him back, and him and Slay have a good relationship. So they brought in Booth, they brought in Sauce. I mean, Booth is more likely could be at our pick, so they brought in a guy, a trade up candidate. They brought up another guy that could be at our pick at 15 if that's the case. Do you think they're gonna move up for a cornerback, or do you think they're going to sit and have Tay Gowan and Zach McPherson battle, or Vincent Jr. battle it out for that number 2 spot?
No, I think they'll move up for Sauce. I think if he gets to, I don't know how high, but like let's say he gets to 6, I think they try to get him. I I really think that they're not taking a corner in the first round. I'm thinking they're going to have to go receiver because there's going to be so many receivers off the board. I think they can get defensive back in a second. That's my theory. So I think they're going to go, unless they trade up for Sauce Gardner, I think they go probably defensive line and wide receiver. Second round, probably cornerback or safety.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay. Oh, we got a super chat from Greenacre Kiwi Sydney. Appreciate it so much. Says Isaiah Spiller, 6'1", 225, youngest running back, and Alec Pierce, 6'3", 213 could be cheap steals.
Yeah.
Both not used too much.
I agree. I think Spiller. Yeah. I mean, Nate. I would like a big back like that to go along with Miles. I mean, because you got to assume that this team is still going to be a run first team, right? I mean, that's got to be the plan.
Yeah. And even Alec Pierce, Alec Pierce ran a 4.33 at 6'3", 213 as a big body wide receiver. I mean, he burns cornerbacks. I mean, he's just, oh my God. I mean, you're looking at a guy that has a big body. Like, you're looking at a guy like, you look at this guy, Alec Pierce, you look at Drake London, you see the difference. Because we talked about Drake London and he never has separation. I mean, he's a good contested catching, but there's just no separation.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I agree.
Easy Money says Shakes in a Matt Corral jersey.
It's gonna happen,
dreams, bro. In your dreams,
happening.
bro.
It's happening. Don't just sit back and relax. Easy Money.
That's all talk.
Sit back and relax.
Just because this guy sends me a screenshot of your order is in, you could just search that on the internet. I ain't believe anything.
I could have ordered a cannoli. You don't know.
Oh, what was that quote we had for Nick Sirianni? Where's the? I forgot. I forgot what we say about him. The Sopranos thing I made it. That was so funny. We got a super chat from Sloppy Joe Sloppy Show. Says, would you consider the Eagles give 15, 18 and Rager, maybe a fifth as well to the Jets for 10, 35, 38, depending on who's there at 10, obviously.
Oh, wait. Okay, so 15, 18 and Rager and for the Jets for 10, 35, 38, depending on. I think that's too much.
Yeah, maybe.
You're only going 5 spots to 10 from 15. So I'm not giving them my second round pick. I mean, my other first.
Right.
So you probably could do that. You probably could do 15. I think you could probably do 15 and 3 and a third and maybe something else and that should be able to get you to 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's like if you move to like Carolina's pick, maybe it's going to cost a little bit more. I mean, you move to 6, I could see maybe the second round pick going, maybe. If you move to 3, I think 2 first rounders are going to have to be in contention. Like that's why even trying to move up for Sauce. The Texans have done a lot of study on Stingley and Sauce, so he can go 3rd overall. I mean, it might even happen too.
This year, you got more teams wanting to trade back than wanting to trade up, so It's a little cheaper to come up.
It's true. We got Sean Guzzi says Jordan Davis and wide receiver is the most ideal in the first round. Offensive line linebacker.
I think that's the most likely too. I think that's the most likely scenario. If I had to bet, that's what I think. It's going to be Jordan Davis and a wide receiver.
That's what I want. I mean, look, I really want cornerback. I really want cornerback and defensive line. Now, that's what I really want. But I feel like the Eagles might not even go defense. I mean, they might not go defensive line in the first round. Who knows? They might go corner wide receiver first round and maybe go get the defensive end from Penn State or get like Perry, the defensive tackle from Oklahoma. What's his name?
Perrion. Yeah, I know.
Perrion Winfrey, I think his name is.
Yeah, Winfrey.
You know what I mean? So that could be a possibility as well. But I really hope they get defensive line.
I think they're going to go Davis and a receiver. I do. I think that's what they're going to do. Because I think you have to get defense. I mean, look, you got no Hargrave and no Fletcher Cox after this year. What are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you have to get him. To me, the ideal situation is get Jordan Davis, then get a good wide receiver, and then go out and somehow figure a way to get Ojabo. So now you have a defensive tackle on a defensive end of the future. You know what I mean?
If you're thinking long term, yeah.
If you're thinking long term, I have no intentions of playing Ojabo next year at all. He's going to sit the whole year.
Joe Smith said, "Do you think Kyle Hamilton could actually drop to us at 15? I'm seeing him dropping. I'd snag him in a heartbeat."
Yeah, it sounds like there's some possibility. I mean, at least to 12. I'm hearing at least 12. Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know if the Eagles will take him though. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. I mean, look, I mean, the pre-draft visits. We haven't seen any. I don't think we've even. Oh, besides Brisker, I think we brought in Jaquan Brisker, and that was pretty much it. But there's a lot of good safeties in the second round between Daxton Hill, Brisker, Petre, Smoke Monday in the third round. There's a lot of good safeties, especially. I really want that moving piece safety, like that Malcolm Jenkins moving piece type safety that can play anywhere. And I think Brisker, Daxton Hill for Michigan could definitely do that for you too. So,
yeah.
Torville says Matt Corral might deliver it to Joey's store.
Yeah, Matt Corral's bringing you his jersey. Matt Corral's coming to watch the draft with Joey. That would be so funny.
Yeah, look, I watched a lot. I watched a lot on him the other day. I did a channel membership on him yesterday, and I look, his elusiveness in the pocket is great. Like if there's some way he can get out of this RPO system, not saying the RPO system is bad, but like you said, like the one read, if he can get out of that and go through progressions and be more consistent on the deep ball. But I got to say, his slant passes are great. His deep pass, when it's there, it's in stride. I mean, it's in stride in the receiver's hands, right into the end zone.
I think his slant. I think he throws a better slant than Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's true.
He does. Those are the things that Jalen Hurts got to be good at. Now if Jalen Hurts comes out this year and he throws like 30 touchdowns or more, the Eagles are going to sign him to an extension. It's over, and that's a wrap. And that's and I know easy money's in there. Matt Corral, but the simplest, easiest way for the Eagles to be contenders again is for Jalen Hurts to work out. Yes. Which is why I been so loud about getting help for this guy. Get him help, because the one thing I don't want to see is that the Eagles don't give him a proper evaluation because he didn't have proper help. Now I think Devontae Smith is good. I think Dallas Goedert is good, but I still think you need another guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you're if you go get a quarterback, I think you're prolonging the competing, because now you might not be able to compete for another 4 years. Really, if you waste this whole year, you have a quarterback sitting behind Hurts. Then this quarterback starts next year in his rookie year, and God knows how good or bad he's going to do. And then another off season after that. I mean, it could take 3 to 4 years for anything, for this team to really compete.
And what happens if Hurts? Let's say Hurts has a slightly better year, but maybe not good enough that the Eagles are sold on him. Then you go into the offseason, and he wants an extension. He's going to want an extension. So then you have a quarterback situation here. So to me, I'm not so sure that 2 first-round picks next year are only for a quarterback. I think all 4 of these first-round picks or drafts, or these next 2 drafts, could be in play for something.
They gave themselves an option to get a quarterback this year, if it's not next year.
They're not desperate. I don't think they're going to trade up for one. I don't think they're going to take one too early. But if something comes around, somebody falls that they really like, maybe they take a chance. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Dean Barrett says, "What us go London and McDuffie." I think London and McDuffie would be the worst, probably the worst first round. I totally
agree. That would be Meltdown City. That will be Meltdown City. What do I need? A super slow wide receiver who is a Canadian rapper from Toronto, and then a super small corner that went to Washington, like Sidney Jones. No, I can't do it, dude. No, I don't want either of them.
Yeah. Nitro Freak with the super chat. What's up, man? He says, give me a quarterback or sauce. Everything else, who cares?
Nitro, is there any quarterbacks that you specifically like?
Yeah.
Joey will be wearing a Matt Corral jersey during the draft. He has one on the way.
Okay.
I sent him a Matt Corral jersey. Mm-hmm. Actually, probably that may make it most likely no chance in hell that happens. Yeah, I would not like London or McDuffie. London, to me, is the guy that's going to become a good tight end one day. He's going to be a great tight end when he's converted to tight end.
Yeah, I think tight end would be perfect for him, to be honest. There's a lot of JJ in that pick. I feel like there's a lot of like I get that feeling. I don't know what.
I do too. Especially I was watching an interview with him, and at first I looked up and said, well, where's JJ Arcega-Whiteside at? Oh wait, that's Drake London, the Canadian rapper from Toronto.
We got super chat. We got super sticker from Marcus Big Mob. Super sticker says 100 on it. Appreciate it very much, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's got to be. I don't know. Yeah, that would be and McDuffie should. I don't know why like some of these analysts like think like you're not drafting a corner in the first round that's better at zone coverage. Like,
watch McDuffie and London be the best players in this draft. London's the next Megatron. McDuffie is, he's Darrell Revis. Oh God, we'll never hear the end of it.
So RM says, should the Eagles take Jameson Williams at 15 or 18 if he's there? We talked about this. Now, what is your plan for Jameson Williams if the Eagles do draft him?
Well, I mean, everybody's saying he's ahead of schedule. You were even saying that, and that he'll be ready to go. If he's ready to go and he's 100% fine. But I also have no problem waiting and taking a long time, maybe bringing him back at the end of the year. Like, I'm not going to rush him back. And if their plan is 2-3 years down the road, then there is no rush. But it sounds like he's going to be good to go. I think that if he wasn't injured, he's the consensus number one without question.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Yeah, so I've been looking at there's videos of his rehab and stuff, and he'll be running by the draft. He'll be running by next week, and he'll be ready by training camp. So,
but I do really like Garrett Wilson, too. I really like Garrett Wilson.
Oh, he wants to be an Eagle. I mean, when you get guys that want to be with their favorite team, that extra effort is already there. Like he said that him and Devontae Smith would be dangerous. I mean, God, I showed you Garrett Wilson that one day. I was like, yo, you got to check this guy out because he's all around with his speed, his catching. He's just so fluid with his movements, right. Twitchy, slippery. I love it.
London is okay. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. We got a super chat from Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe says McDuffie would ball out at safety, move him there. He might. He actually might. It could because he's very athletic. He's very athletic.
Isn't he kind of small though? I mean, he is small for safety.
He's about.
I see him more of a nickel corner kind of guy. I mean, look, I could be wrong with him, and I will fully admit that I may be having PTSD of Sidney Jones, and that may be part of the problem.
Yeah.
If I can't separate Washington from either of them.
Yeah, I get it. Even the guy across from him, I think Gore. I forgot his first name. Gordon, that plays opposite of him. He's more of a man-to-man guy. So, what were you reading before? What you were reading?
Somebody was saying that London is Mike Evans, identical to Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans played a tougher conference. And Mike Evans at least used to get separation. Like, at least if you go back and look at his college highlights, he was open. Yeah. I really liked Mike Evans. He was my favorite receiver coming out of that draft.
Yeah.
London doesn't – he's always covered. That's the only thing. But he's got really good hands, though. I'm not going to say he's going to be like a total trash. He sucks. He's not going to be anything. I'm not saying that. I shouldn't say that. I just don't want him for us. I want more speed on the outside.
Yeah,
Evans got open. Evans used to catch balls.
Oh, yeah.
Open. Beat guys. I mean, he would beat guys.
And he's been a 1,000-yard receiver every single year. I don't think he's ever had a down year, really. He's had over 1,000 yards every year.
I think London, if anything's like Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, true. We got a super chat from Bo Caruso. Can we get a Goat Talk and Shakedown collab on draft night?
It's going to be hard draft night. Because of the draft. But I mean, maybe some other time.
Yeah, everybody's going to be busy that day. There's going to be a lot of content from everybody that day. Shout out to all the content creators as well.
Oh, yeah.
B. Lewis says, Joey, if you don't mind, if you don't want the jersey, send it to me. I need something to drive my car off.
Joey can do whatever he wants with his jersey.
I just don't believe it, bro. I just don't.
I know.
We got Super Chat. Green Acre Kiwi City says Alec Pierce will give us deep threat. He's a bolter. Oh, I definitely agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. He's fast.
Like look at the Christian Watson, right? I know he plays at North Dakota State University, but he's 6'4" and he's fast. If you look at him, he gets separation. Even when I look at George Pickens, like he's not the fastest guy in the world, but at least he gets open. Like Drake London is always covered. He makes great catches. He's got great hands, but I just want for the Eagles, I want more separation outside. That's what I want. I want guys that get open downfield. You know?
Yeah. We got a super chat from Lou Skunt. Appreciate it so much, man. He says Linderbaum at 18, Kelsey 2.0 for the next 10 years.
That's what they say. I mean, I'm not going to ever I will never get upset taking offensive linemen. I won't. But I think the Eagles' luxury is that they have a good offensive line. I think there's a lot of teams taking linemen early in this draft because they don't have it. So I think that the Eagles, I think the Eagles don't need to go that early.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, they could say, hey, we can go after this guy and, kind of fill that role if put him under Kelsey, if that's the case. We don't really have a backup center. I mean, we really don't.
Yeah, but it would not piss me off. An offensive lineman would not piss me off because I still think we need interior linemen, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for help for Jalen Hurts. We always say Jalen Hurts needs help. Jalen Hurts needs help. It's not just at wide receiver. That's just a position that is a big hole. I still think you need help. I still think in beefing up that interior line. I also think another running back. I think those things help Jalen Hurts too. Yeah. I'm not an Isaac Seumalo guy. I'm just not. I like him in run blocking. I don't like his
pass protection is garbage. It's really bad.
He's going to go from left guard to right guard. Because I'm not moving Landon Dickerson at all.
No. Like a lot of people say, we'll just put Dickerson back to center. I'm like, no way. Like him and Mulata, that's our strong side now.
Yeah,
like
that's an insane combo.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some like plays where Dickerson is just like he will just choke someone to the ground. Like he's physical, man. He's something special. But I mean, if you want to take Isaac Seumalo and maybe cross train him to right guard, maybe have him like compete with Jack Driscoll if that's even the case.
Well, who's going to play right guard if he doesn't play it? Didn't he sign a contract a couple years ago?
Yeah, he's still on his deal. Yeah.
So I mean, I assume he's got to play right guard. Otherwise, you got to draft somebody.
That's yeah. Like I don't think Driscoll's like the guy. I think if Lane like ends up retiring in a couple of years, I think I like Driscoll at right tackle better than right guard. I really did like him. And Herbig, I think, is a better right guard than a left guard. But he can play both guard spots. He's serviceable if you need.
Keep him out of center. You could barely snap the ball through them thunder thighs, dude. No, I don't know how the ball gets through.
Yeah, Kelsey had to go back in that game. He's like, I can't watch this anymore. You couldn't.
Yeah, he'd snap the ball and it hit his thigh, and you see his thighs all shaking and bouncing like this. It's disgusting.
Gandalf the White says, if we don't take a corner in the first round, I think we'd be screwing ourselves.
They could. I mean, it's a position they totally could take. It's weird because we don't know how this draft is going to go. Like the consensus, there's not a consensus. I just saw a mock draft today that had Malik Willis going 2 overall. Now, if you get a couple of these quarterbacks go that early, the Eagles are going to get somebody fall to them. So you don't know how it's going to go. I think you have to be like honest to your board. Whoever your ranked players are, if you have a corner that's ranked higher than one of the receivers, take the corner. If you have a receiver ranked higher than the corner, take the receiver. You got to stay with your board though. You know?
No, I agree. Do you think taking a quarterback between like 10, like at least 15 to 25 is too much of a reach?
Corner,
at least 15 to 20. I mean a quarterback. You
quarterback?
Yeah.
I would. That's another meltdown. I will have a meltdown if we waste our quarterback.
No, but do you actually think like someone's taking one of these QBs top 10? You think someone's going to get taken?
I think somebody's going to take one of these quarterbacks. I do. I do. Just somebody's going to. Well, I won't say top 10. I'll say between 12 and 20. I think 2 go off the board.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right.
You know, if you're a team like Carolina and you want Kenny Pickett and you know he's going to be there at 15 and you can get more picks, why not do it?
Yeah. No. They need picks. I mean, they need picks. I mean, if they move. I mean, I think we're in a good spot for a team to trade back with us. I think it would be a good move for any team. I think because I'm looking at Carol. I'm looking at. I mean, maybe not the Falcons so much. I mean, I know they have the short-term answer with Marcus Mariota, but I'm looking at the Falcons. I'm looking at Carolina. Obviously, they've been looking for. I think they had pre-draft visits with all the quarterbacks pretty much as of right now. And,
right.
You have Seattle. Seattle's another one at 9. So Clark Roberts says, who is the best offensive line in this draft? I think it's Neal or Equan. I can't say his name.
I think it's Neal. But, I mean, right. There's been even debate about that. That's what I'm saying. There's no consensus with a lot of these guys. But I think it's Neal, right?
Yeah, I think Neal's going to be. I think was he right? Was he right?
Well, I just read an article. I read an article this morning, and they said teams were split on Neal and Equanu or whatever. I can never pronounce his name right. So right. I read an article, and that was Bleacher Report, and they were saying that they were split on it. But we'll see. But I think it's probably Neal from everything we've seen. But now it looks like that may not be the case. But those guys go what? Top 5?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like we've seen some of the. That's why I look at offensive line, especially for some of the teams that are big need at that position to trade up. And like I look at the Giants right now. Like I think like they're stupid even to pick at 5 and 7 because. Like they don't have another first-round pick for next year. Daniel Jones on the last year of his contract. Like they're seriously just going to draft 2 guys. And
I think they're going to trade one of those picks.
I think they have to.
They may trade with the Eagles. Do not be surprised if the Eagles trade with the Giants.
I saw some news on that today.
Did you? I didn't know that. I'm just saying, like that would not surprise me.
Yeah, there's been talks. I've heard Eagles, Carolina. A lot of talks. I've heard today that there could be a rival trade within the division between the Eagles and Giants. But, I mean, how could that happen? I don't know. It could be. Well,
the Giants just hired the front office guy from the Eagles. So, right? So they got he might know what the Eagles want.
Yeah, he could be right. You could be right.
I think to go up inside of the top 10, I think there's 2 guys they're going for. Here, let me ask you this. I'll say it first, and then you tell me. Here are the guy. I think there's guys they'll trade up for. I think to go up into the top 10 real high, there's 2 guys, Sauce Gardner and Thibodeaux. I think both those guys are willing to trade for. I think a few spots up, like between say 10 to 13, somewhere around there. I think there's a couple guys. I think Jermaine Johnson is one. Mm-hmm. I think Kyle Hamilton may be one. And who else? And Jordan Davis. No, I don't think Stingley. Because they didn't even bring him in for a visit.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know Stingley. Like I was reading a lot of teams are concerned about his medical. So I don't know if they would or not.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if that's a team. The teams looking at his medical, and then look, a pro day isn't gonna like turn everything around. I mean, he could be in great shape, but can he still play like he used to play since his freshman year of college? That's gonna be the big thing with him. Richie Lyer says, looking back at the 2021 draft, was taking Dickerson over JOK a W?
I mean, you have to say at this point, yes.
Yes.
But I'm going to argue this point until I'm blue in the face. I believe if the Eagles would have played it right, they could have taken and gotten both. I think they could have waited a little time and traded back up for Dickerson and took JOK or Asante Samuel Jr. But at this point, Dickerson being healthy, yes. And we said that draft night. We said if he stays healthy, this is an A+ draft. But it all depends on him, and he stayed healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that the San Francisco game, the home opener, they threw him at right guard when Brandon Brooks went down, and he didn't play well, and then ended up switching his position later on, and it's really worked out.
And JOK got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was having a good year. So, Dickerson,
and Asante Samuel Jr., what do you think about Asante Samuel Jr.?
He was having a good year too, right? He got hurt too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both were, but Dickerson. We knew Dickerson was a first round, a top 15 talent. We knew that. We just didn't know if he could stay healthy. True. And right now, he's an absolute monster, dude. He's by the end of next year, he's going to be one of the best left guards in football.
Oh, I definitely agree. And Mulata's getting a lot of attention. Oh yeah, and Mulata's getting a lot of attention now too. So I think he'll be a Pro Bowl be in the Pro Bowl for a long time because he's unstoppable. I mean, the guy has a grit to him that I really do like. On top of his play at 6'8", 360 pounds I mean, how did you do that? How did you change him from a rugby player in the 7th round to a starting left tackle in the league? It's crazy.
I know the guy's a hell of a player.
We got a super chat from Green Anchor Kiwi Sydney. He says Tampa shut down the Eagles' run, but imagine Hurts had more receiving options.
Yeah,
but that game wasn't just like Hurts missed a lot of. There was a lot of opportunity on some of those throws. Okay, I blame the coaching staff too because they did not draw out this play design for that playoff game was pure shit.
No,
it was bad. It was
really
bad.
There's at least 2 touchdowns that he had Quez Watkins. He overthrew him. But you don't use Devontae Smith to the 3rd quarter. I mean, that's insane to me. The thing you have to worry about is and I've heard people talk about this, and I don't know if it's true or not. We'll see. But a lot of people feel like that Tampa basically showed how to play Hurts, how to beat him. And if you remember the Buccaneers were like, this guy can't read a defense. He can't read defense. I mean, they were saying it on sideline. Yeah, that is.
You literally had the linebackers sitting at the distribution between Hurts and Miles Sanders. Even though Miles Sanders was almost out for 3 weeks and they just decided to give him all the snaps. Use the running backs that got you to that point. Boston Scott, they didn't get any snaps. Jordan Howard to the 3rd quarter. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I really don't. I mean, they figured us out. The game, as soon as Rager muffed the punt, that was it at the half, 45, whatever it was.
Yeah,
it was so embarrassing. I mean, it wasn't like we got so upset about it. We weren't really surprised, really. So it's just we just thought they thought they could have played a little bit better.
We didn't think they would win. I just wanted them to be in it in the 4th quarter. That was my goal. And it was over by the 1st quarter.
Now, we didn't talk about this. So the Eagles moving J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to tight end. Now, what is the whole Tell me in your own words. What are they thinking?
Well, I don't know. I just have this vision that the tight end room is sitting there, and there's this little fireplace in the tight end room, and down comes the chimney with its umbrella. It's J.J. Arcega-Poppins entering the tight end room, a spoonful of sugar. It's like I think that this is the biggest waste of time in the world. One, I don't think that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to have the same ability to block linebackers and defensive ends as he can defensive back. So I think if he's going to be an effective tight end, he's got to be a receiving tight end. I much rather would have just cut my losses. But I think this goes back to Howie not wanting to admit being wrong.
Yeah, you could be right. And because, if they take away a receiver from, the group and, they signed Greg Ward, they brought him back, which he probably won't get any playing time. I highly doubt it. And we want to add more competition to this wide receiver room. So moving JJ to tight end just kind of solved that. He's Probably could make the team because really what's the competition behind Dallas Goedert with Tyree Jackson that we really want to work out badly coming off an ACL now, and Jack Stahl is more of a blocking tight end. We kind of talked about this off camera, and it gives some guys an extra chance. Like I feel like it worked out so well for JJ last preseason for these preseason games because Fulgham ended up like catching a ball on the 2-yard line, and he was given that extra power to get into the end zone. He fumbled the ball, so that didn't look good for him. And JJ had like a breakout game, that last game against the Jets.
What do we call the last preseason game every year? The JJ Arcega Bowl. That's the only time he shows up when he has to have a good game to stay on the roster. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know some people are excited. They think this is going to work. I don't. I think it's a waste of time. I would rather just get another tight end in here and be done with it. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, no, it does. It doesn't.
I mean, well, he's going in his 3rd year, right? Are they going to pick up? Does he have an option year or no?
No, he's a second-round pick. He's a second-round pick. I don't think they have an option year. Yeah.
God, was his damn contract going to hurry up and run out?
So this year's his last year. So I mean, if you want to make him, here's what I'm thinking. Like, if they wanted him to block this whole entire time, why didn't they just switch him to the tight end position like from the start at this point? I mean, if that's how they were going to use him last year, they might as well just put him at that position. So now I feel like they're giving him a free pass. He's going to a tight end group that's not really strong behind Goddard right now. There's nothing really promising behind there. So it gives him that shot he's going to make the team. And we're gonna have to deal with it.
I don't get it. I don't. I just don't get it. I don't. But I mean, maybe we'll get lucky, and maybe it'll work out. I don't know.
Will says if we draft either a cornerback or safety and everything on offense goes well, we could have a deep playoff run.
Well, if everything goes well, I mean, have everything on offense has to go great. I mean, I think if Hurts becomes a 30 touchdown plus passer, yeah, I agree with you.
Now, how much with Jalen Hurts this year? How much are you going to put his stat wise? How much are you going to put into his rushing touchdowns this year?
Well, I mean, I think you have to cut it down somewhat, right? I feel like you can't just keep having this guy run all the time. He's going to keep getting hurt. So I would like to see his rushing touchdowns come down a little bit and his passing numbers go up. That would be a great sign. I don't know how many he's going to get. I still think he can get close to 10 rushing.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I think he will as well. We're going to go for probably 3 more minutes, guys. So we're hitting that mark soon. But just let everybody know we're going to be streaming the whole draft next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Together, we'll be streaming from both channels, and definitely give both channels a lot of love. We've been putting out content like crazy, and we're going to be ready. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
It's overdue. Like, I think we're all just ready for it. I mean, we've talked about, I think, pretty much every possible situation. No, I mean, we've gotten to the point now we're talking about Matt Corral. That's where we're at. It's like this thing has to happen. I couldn't take another few weeks of this. I'm glad it's Thursday. I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of movement. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting rumors this week. It's going to be an exciting week, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Chandler Sampson says, if we draft a defensive tackle over cornerback safety in the first round, we will miss on an elite skilled position player.
Possible. I mean, to me, it just depends who's better on your board. Like if the Eagles are going to have their draft board, they're going to have their players ranked. If the defensive tackle's ranked higher, take them. Don't reach because you're taking the 4th corner left on the board or something. But he's right. They could miss it. It depends who it is,
Yeah, I mean, they depending on how many receivers are taken, if they're top two, if there's, you said what, 8 and how, what, just the first round?
They were saying 7 to 8 wide receivers could go in the first round. They were talking about Christian Watson now being a first round pick, George Pickens now being a first round pick. I mean, that's a lot of receivers. If you get that many receivers, some of those defensive backs may drop into the second. So
right, yeah,
it depends. So
I'm
not sold on the 3rd guy, right? The third overall guy most people have is McDuffie, right? I'm not really sold on him. I like Booth better than I like Elon better than I like him.
Yes.
So to me, once Stingley and Sauce are off the board, I'd rather go another position. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, like somebody's going to drop. Like something is going to happen. Like every year we do this every single year, and we always think they're going to be picked at certain teams are going to be picking some of these guys, and it's always like last year, like that board did not treat us well.
That board was everything we wanted was going off the board. That was a crazy draft. That was a crazy first round. And the thing is what we need a couple of these quarterbacks to go early. We need like Easy Money's Matt Corral to go like 6, and then Pickett go, or Malik Willis. Like that'll help drop everybody else to us.
Yeah, true.
Well, you'll have to rip off your Matt Corral jersey at that point, but
Easy Money,
you're gonna be so happy with me on Thursday when you see the red shiny Matt Corral jersey Joey's wearing.
Now he's gonna disappoint you from all the lies from all this week. That's what's gonna happen. All the lies that I've been going through from I can literally make a photo album for Matt Corral on my phone right now. That's how much Philly 500 has sent me pictures nonstop. And then one of Kenny Pickett, I had no idea why he sent me that, but we'll figure it out. But other than that, I mean, Philly, anything else to?
No, I'm just ready. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. You'll probably see me on Monday unless something big happens tomorrow.
Yeah, same here. Other than that, guys, pretty much it.
Got to rest up because the draft is coming. It's going to be, how it gets. We get like 4 hours into that thing. And you start losing your mind a little bit, right? We start seeing Dr. Peppy and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll lose our minds sooner or later because when you stream for a long time, that's what's going to happen. So we'll lose our minds sometime.
When is Phil? When is your BC? What's BCS? Richie MC, what's BCS? Is that Better Call Saul? I didn't know anybody wanted me to do it. I asked people, nobody said anything. So
I watched it.
I love that show.
So good. Good.
I would love to do one. If you want me to do one, I'll do one. But I put something out there and nobody said anything. So I was just like, I guess nobody wants me to do anything on it.
Wait, you do reviews on the channel?
I was going to do reviews put it on Rumble, Better Call Saul. And I was like, I threw that out there, but nobody said anything. So I was like, I guess people didn't care. But I love that show, dude.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's been probably my favorite drama series ever. Probably my number one show.
Oh,
I love that
Breaking Bad is my favorite all-time show.
Yeah,
it's my favorite all-time show. Sopranos is my second, and I blame the ending for that. And then I'm going to say I think Better Call Saul has entered my top 3 to 4. That's how much I love Better Call Saul.
Yeah. It got better and better every single season.
Yeah, and this year looks like it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, 13
like that beginning was so crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be nuts. But
yeah,
all right, guys, you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll definitely see it. There's 215 in the chat, guys. Like the stream if you guys love the Philly Shakedown and ready for next Thursday. We don't know what time we're going to be on. We're still figuring out a time. We were thinking a half hour to an hour before. I don't know. We're going to figure it out.
But we're going to be here, be ready to go in our red shiny Matt Corral jersey.
All right, you guys, like the stream, subscribe if you guys haven't. Subscribe to Philly 500. Better half the Philly Shakedown link is in the description below, and we'll see you. We'll see you next time. We're gonna be together as the draft. That's it.
Draft, yeah. We're gonna have 3 days of draft and then a Philly Shakedown final review, I guess, of it at some point. So that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, all right, guys, you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode. We'll see you by draft time. See you later.
Take care, guys. Bye.